Hello everyone and welcome to the last session on this course on Introduction to MATLAB, where we have learned together using the MATLAB on-ramp platform. So let us go to the MATLAB on-ramp. The final part is another project which is Stellar Motion. Okay, so in the earlier video we have seen some calculations on this. Basically what we did is we calculated the speed of one of the stars based on the wavelengths which were given. Now let us try to do the further part of it, wherein we'll calculate the speed of all of the stars. Okay, so now the background is given here. On line 2 of the displayed script, the spectrum data is extracted from the second star in the matrix spectra. So if you see here this command, if you remember, SHA comma IDX is equal to min spectra colon comma 2. So this spectra colon comma 2 will give you the second column, okay, and min will give the minimum value of the second column and its index, which is stored in SHA and IDX respectively. From that we had calculated this lambda HA, which is lambda of the vector from lambda matrix, the value from the lambda vector which is at this index IDX. Then we have calculated Z and then the speed. So these formulae we have seen in the earlier video. Now what we are supposed to do, we have to modify the line 2 of this script to calculate the speed of all the stars. That means this spectra is containing many columns. So instead of doing only one star, that is the second star, we want to calculate the speed of all the stars. So how do we do that? Okay, so one way to do that is calculate speed of one star, then run a for loop, calculate the speed of second star and continue this. Okay, however, this is not a good option. In MATLAB you can most of the times avoid for loop and directly you can use the array operations. Okay, so I will modify this first. I'll modify this first and then I'll explain this to you. So what I have done, I have simply removed this colon comma 2. I have written minimum of spectra. In earlier case it was returning the minimum value and its index. So now what it will return is, it will return the minimum of each column and its index. Let us see how this works. So when I will press submit, it is taking some time for execution. Yeah, so you see I got all the answers. I got speed for all the stars, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 stars are there. So I got the answer for all. So you must be wondering how it is done. So it is very simple. When I say minimum of spectra, it will take every column and it will return its minimum value. So this SHA now in this case will be a vector. Instead of a scalar, it will be a vector. That means it will have 7 values. IDX will also have 7 values. Okay, 7 minimum locations. This lambda HA will also have 7 values. Okay, and when I say Z, it will also have 7 values and speed will also have 7 values. So finally you get a 7 by 1 matrix where there are 7 rows and 1 column which corresponds to each and every star, right? So the array operations in MATLAB can help you do the things easily without actually writing a lot of code. Now speed is now we'll go to task 2. Now notice that speed is now a vector. So positive speed means that the star is moving away from us, and negative speed means the star is moving towards us. Okay, so now we will create few plots containing all the 7 stars, and we'll use different styles for those stars who are moving away from us, that is also known as red shifted, and moving towards us, also known as blue shifted. Okay, now since the plot command won't be same for every star, we can use the convenient, it is convenient to use a for loop. So the next task is create a for loop with a loop index called v. The loop should progress through all the columns of spectra 1 to 7. In the body of the loop, extract the vth column of the spectra to a variable named s. Okay, so I'll have to write for v equal to 1 colon 7. Why? Because it is asked with an index called V, the loop index should progress through all the column spectra 1 to 7. So I'll say for V equal to 1 colon 7. Okay. And inside the for loop, what it wants, in the loop body, extract the Vth column of spectra to a variable named S. So I'll write S is equal to spectra in bracket V. So what this will do, when it will run first time, this V value will be 1. So the S vector will have the first column as the first value. Then second time V value will be 2. So second value of S will be this. So basically we are extracting the values in this for loop. Okay. So let us see. Let us run and see this. Okay. So you got, but the result is incorrect because S has the final. Does the loop index exist? Yes. Okay, 1 to 7. Does the column vector S is also existing? Does the column vector, does S has the correct final value? Does the script contain the code 1 colon? So why is it like this? So this we'll have to check, maybe due to some reason. Let us check this. Okay, so I could figure out the reason. Actually, it was asked in the loop body extract the Vth column of the spectra. So when we extract the column, we should write V in the second field, and we want all the rows. So in the for all the rows, I am writing a colon. Okay, so all the rows Vth column. So that was missing. That's why we got a wrong answer. So let us correct and submit. So I have corrected and submitted. Let us see. All right, so now our solution is correct. Okay, we have got all the answers, and it is, of course, it's a 357 rows are there, so these values will be updated. Let us go to the next task. Now first you will plot the blue shifted spectra using dashed lines. So add an if statement to the for loop body. If speed V is less than or equal to 0, create a log-log plot of S against lambda using a dashed line. After the if statement, add the command hold on so that only one plot is created. Okay, so we have this S is equal to spectra colon V. Now I'll add a if statement. If, what it is asking us, if speed of V is less than equal to 0. Okay, so I'll say speed, because speed vector is already existing, of V is less than equal to 0. Then what should happen? If speed of V less than equal to 0, then I should get a log-log plot of S against lambda. So I'll say log-log lambda comma S, and using a dash line. So I'll use dash line. Okay, and after the if statement, add the command hold on. Okay, because we want only one plot, and on that plot I want to hold on everything. So I'll write hold. So this should work. Let us see. Let us submit this and see. So it will definitely take some time when you are doing this online. Okay, so that much bandwidth you will need. So I'm still waiting for the result. Yes, so I've got the correct answer. Where is the plot? So I think it is somewhere here. So it is looking very small because many values are plotted here. So let me open this in a bigger window so that you can see it. Yeah, so this is the plot I get. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. These four graphs I can see because they are all negative. So because the speed is less than equal to 0, that's why I got the 4 plots. Okay, so let me close this. Let us go on to the next task. Now what is the next task? Add an else statement. If speed is greater than 0, create a log-log plot of S against lambda using a line width of 3. After the for loop is complete, enter the hold off. So if I have added hold on, I'll write else here. Else, in else I need, because if this condition is not true, then what should do? I should do a log-log plot. Okay, so I'll say log-log in bracket lambda comma S, comma. Now I have to specify the line width. Okay, so I'll say line width, comma 3, because I need the line width to be 3. Okay, and after the for loop is ending, I'll say hold off. So let us try this. Okay, else is okay. There is some problem in the else statement. Yeah, because I have not used an end for this. I need to write an end also, so I have to add one more end. Okay, then it should work. So let me indent this for clarity purpose. Yeah. So this for is ending here, this if is ending here, this else is ending here. Okay, let us check this once again. Okay, so we made a fundamental mistake here. What fundamental mistake we have done? See, if else has to be in a single loop. So after if is done, I should write else. So this code else, this code belongs here. This code belongs here. If this else this, then if end will end, then hold on. Okay, and after hold on, I'll end the this end is not required. This end is required for this for loop. So if else end, this will be a hold on. After the for loop is over, I'll hold off. Okay. So I hope that everything is done now. Let us check this. Yeah, I hope, yes, now it is correct. It will take some time for the plot to display. So we got the plot now. Okay, we got the plot now. So thicker plots, let us see it a bigger way in a figure window. So it takes some time to open. Okay, so the thick lines, 3 thick lines are those lines where the speed is greater than 0, and that means positive, and the dashed lines are where the speed is negative. Okay, so this way we can do this plot. I hope you have understood this. So some minute things that you have to notice while writing the loops, you have to be careful. Okay, but this is how you learn. It is not necessary to remember the syntax always. Now task 5, you can pass a string array directly to the legend function, and the string arrays star names contain the name of each star in spectra. Add a legend to the plot using the array star names. Okay, so can we do this? Let us try this. Okay, this is required in task 5. So I should say legend star names legend. Okay, so it is asking us, you can pass a string array directly to the legend function. The string array star name contains the name of each star in spectra. So since it is already having the string, so I should get the answer like this. Okay, let me check whether this works. Otherwise we'll search for the correct syntax. Please remember, do not try to remember the syntax, because that will make your work very difficult. Okay, it is working, no problem, right? So we got the legends here. You see all these HD30854 and etc etc, all these values have come here. How these values have come here? Just by adding this legend star names. Let me check this. So it will take some time to open in a new window. Yeah, so I got these legends HD30584 for all 7 star names are available now. Okay, I hope you got this. Next task. Okay, In the plot, you can use line styles to identify the stars with redshifted spectra, then look up their names in the legend. Can you determine the names of redshifted spectra without a for loop? Okay, so without a for loop, how we can do this? We can use the vector operations. Okay, so for example, it is asking us to create a variable move away. So I am say move away equal to, it contains the elements of star names where speed is greater than 0. Okay, speed greater than 0. So you remember, this is called as the logical indexing. So instead of using the for loop, I can also do this, right? So move away is new variable I have created. It will take those elements of star names where speed is greater than 0. Okay, so let us check this. Okay, let us wait. Yes, so we got the answer. Move away is HD5211, HD56030, and HD94028, right? Because this is how also you can do, right? So this completes the project, and rather the course. So I will urge you to go through the course on your own. I have taken you through this course along with me, but then you also need to do it on your own. This is the summary that we have. Okay, so we got the basic syntax, we have done this basic desktop management, then we have seen array types, how to evenly space the vectors, how to create the matrices, how to do the indexing, array operations, how to handle multiple outputs, how to access the documentation, do the plotting, use the tables, use the logical operators, basic programming, right? So all these things we have covered. So if you go through the earlier videos, you will get the idea about everything. So finally, it is showing something new. Let us wait for this. Yeah. So congratulations, you have now learned the basics of MATLAB. You can go to my course and print a progress certificate. So now submitting the survey at the end of the course is required for 100% completion. So I will be doing that on my end. Once you do that on your end, you can also earn a MATLAB certificate. Okay, so thank you so much for being with me through the course of this entire MATLAB on-ramp program. And I urge you to go through this MATLAB on-ramp program instead of going through different programs by different universities, etc. You take this first, because this is right from the company. Right from the company it is there. So it is covering almost all the initial skills which are required for you, and later on you can move on to the higher courses like MATLAB fundamentals or the Simulink fundamentals, etc., where you can go slightly deeper and use it for your own purpose. So thank you so much for your wonderful support. Thank you.